I was recently getting my yearly dental checkup, and while I'm sitting in the dental chair, my dentist asked me, "So, you got any big things happening this year?" And of course, naturally, I say, "Yes, I'm making a feature film." Her follow-up question was, "Great, what's it about?" And let me tell you, in that moment, I'm there laying back in the chair, completely flat, vertical. I've got this giant light in my face, and the dentist is looking down straight at me. So I feel like I am just in the worst possible position, metaphorically and physically, to pitch a story to anyone. Plus, I feel like I just had my teeth worked on. I mean, they just got done wiping toothpaste off my face, you know, like I'm a little baby. So it's like, this situation does not make you feel confident. And it is already hard enough to talk about your script and pitch it to anyone, let alone laying in a dental chair just having your teeth hammered away on. But I was undeterred and I went for it. Her response was very polite and very thoughtful, and that she said, "Great, when you finish it, I would love to see it." Now, my pitch wasn't incredible, but I did think I nailed one aspect, which is that I expressed why I wanted to make this film and why I personally was so passionate about making this project. And if there's anything that perhaps won her over, it was that excitement and passion and not the words that I used. This is very important to me because I feel like there's a big misunderstanding in the concept of pitching your story. When we think of pitching, we often think of the elevator pitch. You know, you've got 5 to 10 seconds. You've got to say the specific line and phrase to hook their attention. And if you do a great job, they're going to say yes. And they're going to give you that golden Willy Wonka ticket. And you're going to make your movie and everything's going to work out. Well, there's a couple things wrong with the elevator pitch. One, it requires you to memorize information. Well, the problem with memorizing information being scripted is, let me ask you, when you get a call from a telemarketer, do you feel like you're having a great conversation? No. The instant you hear the tone in their voice, you are aware that someone is not listening, they are reading a script, and they have an agenda. There's nothing more off-putting and that makes you not want to even listen to what they have to say when someone is talking at you. So having an elevator pitch, first of all, you're approaching somebody with that kind of mentality, which is the opposite of that makes them want to listen to you. So first of all, having scripted conversations doesn't encourage engagement and listening. And second of all, when you make a film, you want to find, it's like dating someone. You're looking for a match, a good fit where people care about the same thing you care about. And it's not about convincing anyone to want to make your movie, because you don't want someone to make your movie that doesn't even believe in what you're trying to do anyways. And so at the end of the day, you're actually looking for that collaborative, creative relationship with people who vibe and who are passionate, excited about the things that you care about in that story. So how do you do that? The answer is simple. You simply talk about why this film is so important to you. And when you talk about why this film is so important to you, you naturally are going to express tone, theme, characters. And by doing that, people are going to be drawn like a gravitational pull to your excitement, your passion. And that's a very addicting and very compelling thing. And so the good news is it doesn't matter what you say. When I was laying there in the dentist chair, it really didn't matter what I was saying. It didn't matter if I said the right words or the wrong words, or talked about this character, didn't talk about this character, or if I forgot a main point, because all I was trying to communicate was what I was really excited about in this film. And in doing that, I expressed the core themes, the characters, and most importantly, my excitement. And people want to be a part of that excitement. Now, that's very different than the other outcome, which is, hey, let me talk at you and try to convince you of something that you may or may not like. So my encouragement to you is, one, I'm not saying scripted. There's a difference between being scripted and being prepared. Be prepared. And for example, how I prepare is I will write out multiple log lines or phrases that can be used as a pitch. Once I do that, I'll then feed it through an AI program like Claude to get some feedback. I'll ask it for some feedback. I'll maybe make some modifications. Then personally, what I like to do is then I'll take that, I'll put it into a Google form, I'll send it to a bunch of my friends, and I'll give them about 5 to 6 options of different versions of log lines and pitches I've wrote. And I'll ask them, vote on your favorite and also give me your feedback. Then I get all their feedback, I review it, and I rewrite it again with what I feel is the strongest pitch. Now, I do that not so that I can then go when I'm in the dentist or when I'm talking to anyone and repeat that same phrase. I do that so I can understand what it is people are respond to the most and what words and things they don't find helpful or interesting. One, that just clarifies my own story, helps me know is what my story is about, is it landing with people? So it's a good feedback there, but also it's creating this research and this preparedness so that when I do go and present and pitch to people, I'm not trying to memorize that phrase, but I know what the story's about. I know what I'm trying to communicate. And that way I don't have to think about what I'm trying to say. Because the problem with memorizing things is like you can tell when you're listening to someone, you can tell when they're more concerned about trying to remember what they're saying than actually listening and engaging with you. And not only that, but you as someone who's delivering the pitch, when you focus on what you're trying to remember to say instead of just talking from your heart, that's what causes you to mess up in public speaking or just communicating. That when your energy goes towards trying to remember what you're saying instead of being present, that becomes a problem. So the good news is what I'm telling you actually makes it easier for you to talk and present to strangers because now the pressure is off. You don't have to remember what you're trying to say. You could just show up and speak from your heart and talk about why you need to make this film, and that is going to inspire the right kind of people to want to be a part of your project. Thank you guys so much for being a part of this project, for watching these videos. I love hanging out with you guys, sharing my crazy thoughts, my dentist stories, and I'm really excited for what's coming up here. Just to give you a little sneak peek, in the future videos, I'm going to be talking about some more of the strategy behind the making this feature film. I'm going to be talking about the actual idea, where it came from, what the film's actually about, and then I'm also going to, in the near future, get into the writing process. To give you an update, I just finished the 4th draft of my screenplay, which is huge, and I'm currently just beginning rewrites and going through to fix some of the massive changes. This has given me so much ideas and new realizations that I can't wait to share with you in the near future. I'll be doing a whole series on just the writing process. So we are definitely going to get into the nitty-gritty stuff there in the future. But I just want to give you an update. I want to say thank you so much for being a part of this. If you have enjoyed watching this, please smash that like button. Thank you so much for joining this week, and I can't wait to see you next week.